Hi friends, I was very recently going across one article which explained about the good debt and bad debt, and I found it very interesting to share about it. And I also saw many commentary about what kind of debts or what kind of loans that one would take in their life can be categorized as a good loan and a bad loan. So let me point out some highlights and give my perspective towards this loan or debt as a generic view. And again, I leave it completely at your discretion to decide whether this makes sense to you or not. If not, let me know in the comment below and I would be more than happy to know your view about this subject. So let's get started on the video. See, the perfect state of life is not having a debt at all. Well, this is not really possible for everyone unless you are filthy rich from your forefathers' generations. That would be the very ideal state for everyone to live by. But in reality, you will definitely come across some or the other debt. It could be with respect to education loan, housing loan. It could be a loan that you have taken for your own car. Or you might want to start your own company for which you take a loan. But there is an approach of minimalist that one need to take and understand the rationale behind every percentage of your loan contribution that you pay to your bank as a way of EMI, how that contributes to an extensive level over a period of time. So let me explain you this minimalist approach with some numbers here. Let's say you decided to take a car loan. Again, car loan in itself is a big subject. I'll talk about it in a while. But let's for now consider the case you have taken a car loan of 10 lakh. And as you can see here, SBI is offering a car loan of somewhere around 7% to 13%. This is not a promotional video for SBI. It is just a mathematical calculation that I want to draw with you and show you a minimalist approach. Let's take two cases over here where you opt for two different car loans, one for 8% and 10%. And we will see how the math contributes to a large amount after 20 to 30 years of period. So let's take the scenario where you have taken a car loan of 8%. By that mean you will end up paying 80,000 rupees as a EMI for your entire year. Likewise for 10% it would be 1 lakh. This difference of 20,000, if you would have otherwise chosen the 8% as a car loan interest, that means you save 20,000 per year. Cumulatively for next 5 years, this is total of 1 lakh worth of saving in an entire 5 years period. If you happen to invest this 1 lakh into an index fund for another 25 years of time frame. So let's divide and make 3 different time frames over here. For 1 to 5 year, you ended up saving 1 lakh. You invested this 1 lakh for another 30 years or 25 years into an index fund which gives you a 12% return. This amount with a compounded annual growth rate will become somewhere around 17 lakh rupees. You can easily do this calculation just by a Google search on the compounded interest calculation. So in a way, if you see, your car will actually become free. Now the value of 17 lakh in the future state may not be true as of now. The fact that I want to emphasize over here is to follow a minimalist approach by saving every percentage possible in your debt that you would have in your life. The purpose behind this calculation is not to explain you that car loan is good or bad or whether your car will be free or not. It is simply to highlight the point that it is a minimalist approach itself which will help you in order to save every penny that you otherwise work hard for. So that's the approach of minimalist that you should take as an individual for any loan to that matter in your life. Now the car loan in itself is a bad debt. So what I want to highlight over here is until and unless you find a commercial use of car by way of which you are going to have some additional earning, taking a car loan does not make any sense. Now, the philosophical concept about money is your money should actually work for you and it should not be other way around. So in a way, having a car loan is like you're going to office, you're making money, you're earning, but it is not actually your earning because there is an interest EMI that you have to pay to the bank. So your net earning is in reality zero. You have a car which depreciates with value. So your hard work and the time that you invest goes into the bank's earning in an effective way. That's why it is very important to understand the debt in a philosophical way and as well as in a mathematical way. Let me draw down your attention to two good debts, which is mortgage loan and as well as education loan. Now again, there are many other debts and debt categories in which we can delve into, but I personally believe that if you're learning on any subject, you should be able to absorb that effectively. I don't really believe on quantity. I emphasize and I always believe on quality. That's why we will consider only two debts, which is mortgage and education as an example in this video. Let me know in the comment below if you feel that I should be making content and videos upon further debts and other topics as well. I'll be more than happy to look over it. In a typical middle class family, you will always notice these types of loans being oftenly discussed, which is mortgage loan and education loan. And moreover, they always focus upon mortgage loan. So let me highlight and draw down some points for you here. अगर हम मॉर्गेज लोन को देखेंगे, मॉर्गेज लोन का एक सिंपल डेफिनेशन ये है कि आप बैंक में जाकर किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी के अगेंस्ट लोन लेते हो, आप उस बैंक में अपने प्रॉपर्टी के डॉक्यूमेंट्स जब्त करवाते हो. दैट सिंपली मीन्स दैट यू आर गिविंग दैट एज अ कोलैटरल इन ऑर्डर टू टेक द लोन अमाउंट फ्रॉम द बैंक एंड टू बाय दैट प्रॉपर्टी. So mortgage loan is always a good loan and it can be categorized as a good debt. Why? Because अगर हम इंडिया में देखें, इंडिया का population has been ever increasing and to that matter for every country population has been ever increasing. The demand of each and everything including the property increases with time. Property also appreciates with time. So एक property अभी हम खरीदते हैं तो उसमें दो components होता है primarily, which is your cost component and second is your earning component. Even within cost component, there could be two different cost components. One is your interest, that means आपने जो लोन लिया है उसके अगेंस्ट जो आप इंटरेस्ट पे करते हो, that is your first element. And second is the cost component when it comes to maintaining that property. Likewise, earning में अगर हम देखेंगे तो there are two components which you will again encounter. One is the property appreciation which happens with time against that property, and the second one is the rent amount that you would collect if you are not staying in that property. Let's try to understand and rely on the actual facts and figures when it comes to your cost and the earning component. So as you can see this over here, I have taken a very recent SBI data which tells you that the cost component for any loan that you would take as per your CIBIL and credit score is somewhere around 9%. Let's move on and rely on another information which again tells you the same, more or less the same insight, that for a home loan, an average interest rate in order to be calculated and computed is somewhere around 6.75% to 8%. So we will take an average cost component when it comes to buying any property as 8%. Keep a note of this number. So you can see this information now is giving you a view about what is the appreciation when it comes to buying any property. So you can see and take a note that during the time of COVID period, the property values fell and depreciated by 11% in that time period. And right now, considering the last 5 to 6 months data, the average property appreciation which happens is somewhere around 3.8%. This is not month over month appreciation, this is a year over year appreciation. So what is an appreciation in the month of April vis-a-vis the data that is over here? It is somewhere around 3.8% in an effective appreciation. That is the first pocket of earning which you get when you buy any property. If you would have invested in the property during the month of COVID, your appreciation would have been 13% in just 1.5 to 2 years time. Well, these opportunities are very limited, but once you get it, definitely try to keep a tap of it. The same thing is also proven in this information over here, which highlights the same information, that at an average, the property prices grow by 3.8%. So as an effective, what happens is your cost component when it comes to buying any property is average of 8% as per the current market scenario. Whereas your earning percentage is, as we saw, it is around 3.8%, plus we will take a rational of 2% as a rental yield if you are not staying in that property. If you stay in that property, then this 2% will ultimately become 0%. So in an effective, you have approximately, I would say, 5 to 6% of return from that property. So as per the mathematical calculation, you end up losing 2% on that property. Now this is always a question and a debate. Why? Because you live in that property, you have a family living, you create memories. So that topic is a little different. I am just purely talking on mathematics, by which it is depicting to me that I lose 2% by buying any property. Let me know in the comment below if you also feel so, investing in property and taking a mortgage loan makes sense or not. Well, I'm not saying that mortgage loan is a bad investment or a bad asset. I consider mortgage as a neutral asset when it comes to buying any property. The next very interesting topic is education loan. ये वीडियो को इसके आगे देखने के पहले डेफिनेटली कमेंट में जरूर बताना कि आपको एजुकेशन लोन वर्थ लगता है या नहीं. So let me put my perspective towards education loan. In my view, education loan is the most useful and the biggest investment one could do in their own children in order to have and pursue further higher education. In fact, when it comes to traveling and going overseas and abroad, it is the best investment that you could ever make, more than the property, more than any other kind of loan that you would take. Let's try to understand the economics behind it. Let's say your son or daughter goes to overseas or any other country for further education and you take an education loan in order to pursue them higher studies. Now, in a way, this education comes completely free, zero interest for you. until the time the child completes his education and starts earning for another 2 to 3 years of time period. If you see, you have not paid anything for these 2 years, the child has got the enough education in order to earn forever in his or her life. After 2 to 3 years, you will be easily paying up this loan amount because you will earn in a foreign currency which could be at a higher value than Indian currency. Your loan is cleared. Now what stays with your child and your family is not just another 30 years of him or her being capable enough in order to earn effectively and a good amount. It is all the future generations thereafter in your family would be much more financially stable. So investing in the education loan is not an expense at all. It is the best asset class that you could invest. So as a parents, if you are watching this video, this is a note to you: don't treat education loan as an expense. It is the best ever investment that you could have in your own personal life. The return on education investment does not just stop here. It not only benefits your family as a family, but it also benefits the Indian economy as a whole. So why do I mean by that? Look at this chart over here. In the last 18 years, the remittance of Indians staying abroad has increased exponentially and has seen a massive growth in terms of foreign remittance. Whereas in 2021 data, it shows that $89 billion worth of foreign currencies, foreign amount has been remitted by NRIs who are staying abroad. So what is remittance? रेमिटेंस का सिंपल डेफिनेशन यही है, जो भी इंडियंस बाहर गांव रहते हैं, यूएसए, कनाडा एंड अदर कंट्रीज, when they transfer the earning that they have got from those countries to India, they are remitting the money. That's the simple and the bookish definition of remittance. India के लिए $89 billion is a very big thing. In order to foreground the importance of foreign reserves for Indian economy and how it is important when it comes to managing the economy and having a foreign reserve with them, let me put down some points when it comes to understanding the 1980 crisis, which was mainly because of oil shock. I precisely remember it was the OPEC crisis, which was Organization of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries. Now, India being a country जो oil को काफ़ी ज़्यादा level पे import करती है, India का import bill because of oil was almost 2 times of the foreign reserve, और उस time पे India का import bill जो double था, that was valuing somewhere around $900 million. That simply means that India had to import huge amount of oil, but India fell down in a deficit of foreign reserve. That's why India के लिए foreign reserve maintain करना, that means foreign currency में पैसे अपने पास रखना, is very important, and that's why India even promotes individuals to go outside and have an NRI and foreign earning. That's why you will see every political minister, specifically the prime ministers, finance minister, they always talk about maintaining a balance of foreign reserve in any nation. So as a conclusion, education loan is always the best investment that one could do, and my personal view would be, do not hesitate before taking any education loan. It adds a lot of value in your own individual life, in your own family life, for all of the future generations of your family, and as well as the economy of the nation. Now, I have also come across multiple points this question that how much of your loan should be contributing towards your EMI component that you would pay. As a rational number and a calculative number to it would be, I would say it is 40%. Why do I say 40%? Let me put out some math behind it. Let's say as an average, for a simplicity purpose, after deducting all the tax, your annual income is 10 lakh rupees that you get per annum. Out of that 10 lakh, 40%, which is 4 lakh, goes into your EMI. The residual 30% goes into your cost of living, and the remaining 30% could be going under your saving amount. So in a way, if you see this 30%, which will account for 3 lakh per annum, in next 3 years of time frame, you will have an additional 10 lakh approximately, considering the growth in the appreciating of your any investment that you would do. That is 10 lakh rupees that you save. So in a 4th year, you have an additional 1 year of annual income earned. That means you are earning 1 more year in your entire working life. If you do this in a bracket of 3 years, that means in total of 9 years of span, you will have additional 3 years into your life, which can be effectively used to pay out this same loan that you have taken for another 6 years. You will have your cost of living covered for this same 6 years. You will also have the saving with you. So what I'm trying to emphasize over here is that if you save minimum 30% of your annual income and keep a limit and a cap of EMI not more than 40%, you would have a well-off situation in order to cover and pay back your loan. This additional 6 years of time that you get, that is a trial period in your life by which you can experiment new things and you can look after multiple earning ways in order to grow. So we have just simply scratched the surface of loan and debt management. I would say there are multiple and 100 points, but I want you to emphasize on the quality and absorb the learnings which you are having from this video. Do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon, and see you in the next video. This is Ajinkya. Good luck, guys.